All right, here we go. So, looks like I'm going to be playing against this opponent, and I'm going first. So, he's going to activate a full loss, a mulch army. Of course, I'm just going to negate that because I don't want him gaining any advantage. And we're just going to go ahead and do our plays with Fiendsmith. So, we're going to go Fiendsmith Engraver for Track for Lurie to summon out on the field when it discards. And then we're going to go into Fiendsmith Requiem. And then Requiem to summon out Fiendsmith Lacrima, or Lacrima the Crimson Tears. I mean, not Fiendsmith Lacrima. Of course, this time we send the trap since we started our plays off with Fiendsmith Engraver. So we already have an Engraver engraved, so I don't have to send that. So that'll give us our interruptions, and we don't have to worry about it getting negated by a call by the grave or anything like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go Snake Eyes plays. Now, hopefully you saw what I did there. I actually just normal summoned out our Retaliating Sea and then used not one for one, but the original Sinful Spoils. And by doing that, since it sent it from the field, I was able to draw a Max C or grab a Max C. So one of the favorite things that I love about Retaliating C is just getting access to Max C from it. So I can use Max C on my opponent's turn. We're just doing Snake Eyes plays right here. So we're going to go into Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess revive back to Flamberge. Flamberge to bring back Amblo Whale. And then we're going to use Link Haribo to actually tribute that off. And then we're going to use Flamberge to actually set the IP Masquerena in the back row. And then let's look at our interruptions. So usually we would use Lacrima and Requiem on my opponent's turn to send a trap to the graveyard. Since we already sent that trap to the grave, we don't have to worry about that. So that interruption is already live from the beginning. So we have the Requiem, or not the Requiem, but the Fiendsmith in Paradise negate or send effect. So we send Desiree, and then Desiree can send one thing on the field by shuffling something back that's Light Fiend. So that's one interruption there with Paradise. Our second interruption would be off of Promethean Princess. So we can pop something. If we pop a fire monster on our side of the field, we could special summon out Promethean to pop something on my opponent's side of the field. We also get a pop, a non-targeting pop with Amblo Whale. So that's our third interruption. Our fourth and fifth interruption would be Wave King High Caesar. We get two special summon negates there. So that makes the 5 interruptions there. The sixth interruption would be if your opponents try to attack, you can change the opponent's attack to 0, and basically that would prevent them from being able to just attack into your board. So that's our sixth interruption. Our seventh interruption with this deck would be off of the IP Masquerena. Now the IP Masquerena technically doesn't interrupt, but the way that I use it, it becomes an interruption, because what we would do is we would go into this card right here, Underworld Goddess. So technically that would be an interruption because it will tribute off whatever they have on the field. So that's our seventh interruption. And then our eighth interruption is when this is summoned, it basically negates the effects of all face-up monsters your opponents control. And then our ninth interruption would be that this is a graveyard special summon negate. So yeah, we get 9 interruptions so far with this hand plus a Max C. So let's see how this plays out. So he's going to summon out a kaiju. Of course, I'm just going to kind of sit back and just let him. And then I go ahead and Max C right here. It's kind of smart of him, but I can tell you this. All he really just did was he just wiped my field. He got rid of my Amblo Whale, and basically he gave me a Lava Golem, which means Promethean is still live because I could just pop Lava Golem to pop something on his side of the field because it's still a fire. I still have my 2 special summon negates. The only thing I really lose is just the ability to go into Underworld Goddess, which is still fine. Doesn't really matter that much. But then let's see how this all plays out. So he then activates Dark Hole, which destroys everything on my side of the field, and that triggers the Emblo Whale to pop his card that he was going to use as his starter. I go ahead and activate the Requiem so I can get a body on the field so I can do some follow-up plays on the next turn, and he just pretty much surrenders right away. So yeah, pretty good match there. Let me show you what deck he was playing. So it looks like he was playing Gem Knights here. He's got a bunch of different Gem Knights, and his deck is mostly made for breaking boards. He's got Dark Ruler No More. He's got Thrust in there. He's got looks like Dark Hole, 2 Dark Holes, Raigeki, Lava Golem, Gamma Seal, Nibiru, Fualos. He's got the Herald of Orange Lights. So his deck is all about just trying to stop his opponent's deck. He's got a lot going on here, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure you see that he don't have Lancia, and that's because no Lancia, no Droll and Lockbird either. Now, that's, for one, it's because a lot of people are not really playing Rizio anymore. Surprisingly, people are starting to figure out how to beat Rizio. And the funny thing is, people aren't really playing Lancia anymore because Malice just got hit. So, and I think people are just naturally kind of just bored of Malice. So they're not really playing it anymore. And then the main meta deck that everybody's kind of worried about right now happens to be Luna Lights. Now, when I show you my deck, you'll see, if you go back and look before Luna Light was even a thing, I was already kind of doing the plays that I'm doing now. It's just, I didn't necessarily make my deck the way that I made it for Luna Lights. I made my deck the way I made it for Detonator, as a way to just easily get rid of Detonator, and then they released Eclipse Twins. So it made it a little harder, so I put more ways to tribute it off. So then that way I didn't have to put bodies on the field. I could just tribute it off over and over until I get it off the field. But in the process of all of that happening, Luna Light became a thing, so it became even more relevant to put cards like Lava Golem, Gamma Seal, and tributing cards in your deck. So let me show y'all my deck so you can understand how I built it. All right, here we go. So with my deck, you can see I still have my Droll and Lockbird in there. This is a 60 card deck. I have access with Retaliating C to getting to max C. No fake Foalos in here or Molcharmy garbage. I just go ahead and put Retaliating C to get access to one of those 2 max Cs. Max C is still broken, so I want access to it. So I put Retaliating C in here to just kind of get me to that. And then we also have, so this is a Azamina, Mitsurugi, Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith deck. I'll say this, going against any other deck in this game, this deck can beat every deck in the game. Like, there is no deck that this deck struggles with. If you play, I guess the hardest matchup is playing against back row decks, because I don't have a whole lot of back row removal, but it can play through everything that you can do with back row. The only thing is, like, if they have floodgates that are back row floodgates, most back row floodgates, this deck can still deal with it. It doesn't really matter that much. The reason why is because there are some decks like they'll do like back row setups that'll try to prevent you from summoning something. This deck can remove a lot of stuff without ever having to summon. It can remove a lot of stuff without ever having to, like, without giving your opponent's ability to interact with my board. It can do a lot of removal that way. So I'll talk about the kaijus and then we'll talk about the deck. So we have multiple different types of kaijus. I guess the best one to start off with is to talk about the tributing effect of the hand trap Nibiru. Of course, Nibiru can tribute off your opponent's field while they're trying to build their board. If they're playing Luna Lights and they get a Liger Dancer out, that Liger Dancer will stay on the field when you activate Nibiru. The rest of the cards in here that tribute off your opponent's field literally kill any Liger Dancer. So we'll talk about all of those. We'll start off with the top. This card right here, searchable through the Snake Eyes engine. If you do the typical Snake Eyes combo on your follow-up play, you search for this card right here. Once you summon out Snake Eyes, Ash, and Poplar, off of Ash, you search for this card right here when you resummon it back out onto the field. As follow-up, that basically means that if you have this card in your hand, your opponents break your board or whatever, they board wipe you, and they have Luna Lights. When you go to make your following the next turn push, if they activate both Liger Dancers, you just activate this and it literally tributes both of those off the field. It doesn't matter that they're unaffected because you are tributing them to summon this. So it will tribute them. So this will tribute unaffected monsters. Does not matter. It's the cost that it has for this to be summoned onto the field. So yeah, one of the cool things about this card right here. Then we also have our Santa Claus. So Santa Claus has its own tribute effect. So you can literally just drop this on top of one of their Liger Dancers, and it's only they only lose one. So if they have two of them, or if it's Detonator or whatever it is, the reason why this card is so good is because if you drop this on one, they only have one board wipe left. So they have to basically save that thing and use it when they're ready to use it. And sometimes they'll use it way too soon and it doesn't do anything. Even when they try to hold it, you still just play through it. And if you get 4 bodies on the field, you literally can just tribute their Liger Dancer off before they can even interact, because of course Underworld Goddess, it always catches them off guard. But sometimes when they see 4 bodies on the field, they'll just wipe the field, and it doesn't really matter. A lot of the times with this particular deck, you can play through losing 4 bodies. It's just the nature of how this deck is and how many engines it has to put multiple bodies up. Actually, the funniest thing about this deck is you could actually activate Fiendsmith Engraver, and then you can, from your hand, grab Tract, and then Tract can just grab this card. And when you grab this, they know they're going to lose a Liger Dancer right then and there because they see you add it. So, or even Detonator or anything. And that's the funny thing about this is Detonator can't stop this. So when you add it, they can stop it with the they can stop Fiendsmith Engraver with their field spell, but most of the time they don't try to stop that with Cross. Usually they save Cross for something else, but once you add Santa Claus, they can't stop it at that point. It just comes out and they don't see it. They can't like negate it. So it's one of the funniest things to do. It's kind of like oh shit, I fucked up. I should have stopped that Fiendsmith Engraver search. And then they can't pop anything because you haven't summoned yet. So it's another funny thing too. And then in terms of Luna Lights or whatever, let's say you're playing Luna Lights and you have, or any deck really, if it's Luna Lights, they put up 2 Luna Light boss Liger Dancers plus a SP Little Knight. You can just drop a spear mode on all 3 monsters. Boom. It's a done deal. Or let's say you're playing Ryziel, they put a Detonator down, they put a let's say they put down Detonator, and then they also put down Dual Drive plus let's say they put down the special summon rock monster that prevents you from being able to special summon. They put those down, you could just tribute all 3 monsters to normal summon this onto their field. And like I said, normal summon, not special summon. So you can tribute off their monster that says you can't special summon. You can tribute that thing off the field with this. You can tribute off, like, because it's divine, if they put that dark monster that pops everything and prevents you from summoning dark, this is divine, so you can tribute that too. Like, they never expect spear mode. Nobody ever expects spear mode, and they really don't have an answer for spear mode. Special summon negates special summon restrictions, all of that, none of it matters with spear mode because it normal summons it. Let's see, what else do we got? Then we have our monster removal spell card right here. So before you even start making your plays, sometimes this card's in your hand. You can just push something into the back row. And this card is also searchable. You will have this as follow-up when you get the Kurikara tribute monster through Snake Eyes plays. You search this one off Poplar. You search the other one off of Snake Eye Ash when you summon them back onto the field. So follow-up board breakers there. And then we also have our other tributing monster, which is this card right here, Underworld Goddess. So if at some point you get 4 monsters on the field and they have a boss monster that says unaffected, you just tribute it off. Don't mind that. That's just a Discord that I'm in. But yeah, you just tribute their field off. Just as simple as that. Very easy to just push for game with this deck and win. This deck has a lot of interruptions, a lot of playthrough. If you just watch any of my videos using this deck, you will see that I play through a shit ton of stuff. I never quit with this deck. I always stay because there's always a chance to win with this deck. Like, it's so hard for your opponents to beat this because, for one, they have no clue how to stop the deck. They have no clue what your plays are. They have no clue what to do. And a lot of the times, they will sit there and build up a crazy-ass board, and you will just sit there and watch them. And then as soon as your turn starts, you literally just drop a spear mode on them and then just basically build your board as if they never had a board. And the goal is, with this, is you want to pay attention to what they're putting down. I know there are a lot of players who will not pay attention. They'll just go watch TV or something until they hear the switch animation to switch to where it's their time to play. I don't do that. I watch and see what they're doing because sometimes they'll have back row traps that are attached to specific monsters, and I want to know what those are. So then that way I know to tribute those monsters off as well. So yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoy this video, me showing y'all this deck. And if you want to see more videos, I'm going to continue posting this deck. And yeah, I'm going to keep posting this deck, and you can watch any of my previous videos to even show more so how this deck functions. Yeah, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.